Hi.
Hi.
So today we're going to do an episode on dreams and what they mean, what that's all about.
And I have nothing to say about this because I don't really dream for one thing. Like I had one really terrible traumatic nightmare when I was in high school. Like somebody died, there was blood, it was terrible. I woke up and thought I don't want to do
And you
this,
haven't
and I
dreamed?
stopped dreaming. I did have a few dreams like in my 20s about my teeth falling out, which there are a lot of different interpretations for that. I know all of them at this point,
You know all of them?
but
Do you know
no,
mine?
I don't know
You don't
all
know
of them.
mine.
But I will tell you, so I decided that the reason I was dreaming about my teeth falling out was because I wasn't flossing enough. So I started flossing and the dream stopped. So go fucking figure.
Well, I will.
What is your interpretation of that dream?
Of that dream?
Yeah.
Well, teeth are generally symbolic of getting your share out
Getting
of
your
life.
fair share.
Yeah. Right.
Yep.
And when your teeth fall out, it's like you're not getting what you need.
Mm-hmm.
What's really
Makes sense.
interesting is that by flossing your teeth, you kind of were indulging in a ritual that gave energy to that thing, even if you didn't know what it was.
Mm-hmm.
So the cool thing about talking about things is the thing is that dreams are awesome because they are messages from your deeper unconscious self. They're powerful. It's whether you think they have meaning or not is I don't really care because they when, just giving them energy, giving that thing energy is a powerful experience. Even if you say dreams are crap, it's like you're still honoring them, which is funny. Um,
And also, one more quick thing with that is that dreams are an amazing way to process your emotion. As you sleep, your subconscious is taking whatever emotion you need to deal with, and it's dealing with it for you, which is really kind of a magnificent, human
right.
evolution, because we don't always know what to do with emotions. Sometimes they're just really intense and overwhelming, and it's an experience that we need to process, and your dreams will do that for you. So even if you don't remember them or care or think they have any meaning at all, they're still really working for you.
Here's a dumb picture of a boat on an ocean. And you think of you as the boat, and the ocean is your unconscious. So you are as subject to the ferocity of your unconscious in the same manner in which a boat is subject to the tides, the weather, the creatures that stir around the deep. So the eels,
the shrieking eels. Did you ever see Princess Bride?
I don't want to talk about it.
No.
So anyway, listen, dreams. So
he doesn't want to talk about the eels.
I don't want to talk about the eels. I want to talk about dreams.
All right, talk about dreams.
So dreams.
What if I dream of eels? Then can we talk about eels?
We can. Do you dream of eels?
No.
You don't. She doesn't dream of eels. Okay. So we all dream, and sometimes we don't remember them. One of the reasons I think we don't remember dreams is because they're too traumatic and terrible, and we can't hold them. We can't hold the information. It's just too much. I recommend keeping a dream journal by your bed. If you start writing down even the tiniest little bitty dream in the morning, you will start to remember dreams more often, which is a phenomenon I don't really quite understand, but try it.
Well, it's giving energy, and it's sort of an intention that you're choosing at that point. You're choosing to remember your dreams, and I think choice is a lot more powerful than we ever give it.
So as far as symbols are concerned, I have a sort of crude analogy. Think of those magazine racks. You see it wherever you see them. And on the top rack, there are magazines, the daily news, right? Whatever's happening now. And as you move down the racks, they get further and further and further and further into the past until at the bottom you get to stuff that is sort of eternal and mythic. So when you have, sometimes you'll have dreams from the top of the rack, and sometimes you'll have dreams from the bottom of the rack.
Where does Popular Mechanics go?
That's an excellent question. Probably down low, because Popular Mechanics is actually a collective magazine. It's like everyone's idea of what math is and engineering is, which is cool. So your dreams will pull symbols from various points in those racks to deliver a message to you. And the reason dreams don't often make sense is because the dreams are so clear and so concise that it's like that. Like, why are you putting a mouse next to a redwood tree or a factory that's painted pink? It's like the dream is picking out exactly what it needs to portray whatever it's got going, and it takes some time to figure it out. Water is generally symbolic of the unconscious. Everything is in context, and that's a whole other thing. But I guess I want to talk about the importance of dreams generally.
Another thing, just a quick side note, if you don't really want to deal with dreams or you don't remember your dreams, I feel like emotions are also, they're a conscious way to also get those messages, because every emotion is going to have some sort of message for you. And when you can burn through the emotion, like the anger or the fear or whatever's going on, you will find something behind it that is what you need to hear.
And Jung said that the dreams, the difference that between the dreams of night and day, there's not so great a difference. And what that means is that whatever really you're kind of daydreaming about or thinking about kind of behind the scenes is just as important. So pay attention to what you kind of muse about, what you fantasize about, because that's the stuff that's really coming from a deeper place than you might guess. And it's important to give energy to that. It's sort of like exercise, getting your body going. It's getting your psyche going. It's really, really good for you. I wish I had more structured things to say about this subject. Honestly.
I did have a dream, a really powerful dream, and since I rarely remember my dreams, when I do, they stick out. I dreamt a few months ago that I was just at like a picnic table with some friends, and then the snake slithered up, and then the snake jumped from the ground onto the picnic table right in front of me, and I woke up as like the snake was coming toward me and opening its like
things. So that's a really, really good dream. Snakes are generally symbolic of a raising of consciousness. Adam and Eve had their consciousness raised by the snake, and the reason I bring that up is not because I think it's historical fact, but because myths are kind of like collective dreams. They're what the whole culture is dreaming. They all believe in this one symbol and this one story. And so why do they pick a snake? Well, what did the snake do? It brought them to a higher level of consciousness, essentially. And so snake dreams are really, really important because they're generally about some form of consciousness moving in you in some kind of way. I don't know. There's one therapist who said that that every time you have a snake dream in 9 months, you'll have some big change in your life, which I think is a little bit too precise for me, but who knows? Snakes are also symbolic of serpent wisdom, which is that they pick the quickest, shortest route through any obstacle to get there. They're symbolic of transformation in the sense they shed their skins. They're also implacable. They have no feeling. They just do whatever. They're basic. They're primitive. Now, that doesn't mean that all of this stuff means that that's what's going on. I think your dream was about it was like a shock, like, whoa, wait, snake in the face. That's big. Snake in the face.
Snake in the face.
Snake in the face. So that's huge. And so anyway, for a dream journal, I recommend writing down the day's events before, then writing down the dream, then writing about what you think about the dream.
Or just wake up and go, snake.
Yeah. So, and notice how you feel after you do that. Notice that do I feel differently? I usually feel like I've cleared some clutter, like I've cleaned my room a little bit, which is good. And even if your interpretation is quote unquote wrong, there are no wrong interpretations because you're just giving it energy, like the flossing. You just gave it that little thing, right? Yeah. That's kind of neat. It's kind of a neat story, actually. I'm gonna use that.
Yeah, please. It's all yours.
All right.
You did.
So yeah.
Dreams and dental hygiene.
Yes. Who knew? Who knew? Anyway, and I've got a lot more to say about dreams on my blog at benjaminrussick.com, which is...
We can put it in the bottom of the video.
Little bottom of the bottom of the video.
Yeah.
But yeah, you have archetypes, which are sort of universal symbols, which appear in people's dreams, which is also very important because like a snake is an archetype, and you really want to pay attention to those, and things like dragons and animals.
I want to dream about a dragon.
Dragons are good.
Awesome.
Dragons are usually by integration because they're the 4 elements that are all earth, fire, water, air.
Can I dream about riding a dragon? That sounds like fun.
That would be awesome.
That would be amazing. Dream about dragons and riding them.
And snakes. Well, I guess a dragon is kind of a snake thing.
Sort of.
I don't want to say anything more about dreams.
Okay, then we're done.
I'm done.